Hello, internet world. It's me, Evelyn. Kidding. Okay, hello, internet world. It's me, Danielle, and I'm here. Sick, but I was just thinking about something lying in bed, and I said I'm going to make a video because it's something that I think is important, and I really, really want to remember it. So, okay, so this is the video. So I was thinking that I think this is one of the most important things that I've learned so far in my adult life. So far, I mean, we're not that far into it, but where I am right now, I think this is one of the most important things that I've learned. So this is it. It is that how people treat you is not dependent on you, but it's completely dependent on them. And alright, so yeah, I don't know, for some reason I think that I have always had the impression that that was not the case until recently. Like I said, in my 20s, which I am in now, I guess it was kind of a process of discovering what I believe now to be the case, which is that it is not dependent on you, but it's dependent on them. So yeah, like I was saying, for some reason I always had the impression that how people treat you is dependent on you as a person. Like, for example, if someone is treating you well, then it is because you are pleasant, or you are just courteous, even if you're not necessarily pleasant, but you're courteous, you go on good, you act sensible, you act okay, you're not like unpleasant and just them kind of people there. Right. And if someone is treating you poorly, then it is because the person is not acting well, the person is not acting in a way that is appropriate, etc., etc., etc. And including my own actions. So I would include my own actions in that to say that, okay, the people that I treat well, they are people who are nice people, good people, etc., etc. And people that I treat not well are people that are not acting in a way that is positive, etc., etc., so on and so forth. But I think that that's false. I think that the truth of the situation where I stand now, just from my personal perspective, my opinion, is that however anybody treats, so if I am treating someone poorly, it is not because the person is necessarily acting in a bad way, etc., etc. It's just because I am maybe having a bad day, a bad week, a bad year, a bad 10 years, whatever, and it is me, it's my internal state that is coming out and is really acting that way towards that person, and vice versa. If someone is treating me poorly, it has nothing to do with my actions. It is just that the person is in a bad place, they're not doing well, etc., whatever. I mean, it could be so many things. There's no shortage of trials and hardships that we all have to go through here on earth. So it could be various things, but the person is not treating me well because of one of those things. So yeah, so basically, because I don't know if this sounds sensible to other people. I know for sure maybe even up to 3 or 4 years ago it wouldn't have sounded very sensible to me. But the thing is that if someone is acting poorly, if someone is not being kind, or they're acting really badly, etc., etc., it is completely possible to treat that person well. It's not a given that, okay, someone is acting like an asshole and you have to necessarily respond to that person with a negative response. It doesn't have to be that way. And of course, well, I don't know. I won't say of course, but if you've ever dealt with a child, that's the case. Because children, I mean, 50-50. 50% of the time they're wonderful, great, lovely, and then the other 50% of the time they're just like, meh. But I think generally speaking, we don't tend to treat children in that particular way, even when they are being, generally speaking, no, lie, erase that. Generally speaking, I believe that people do treat children that way, especially in the Caribbean, but at least I think I don't consider myself to be like that. I think I generally treat children nicely, regardless of how they're acting. But that's just me personally. And I think that many, at least women, tend to be like that. I think, I could be completely wrong. I don't know. That's just what I think. So yeah. No, the other thing that I want to point out is that none of this is to say that that an individual cannot be an asshole or cannot be in some way deserving of poor treatment. I don't believe that's the case. I like when people call me out on my bad actions. If I'm being an asshole, then I would like for someone to tell me, or even if they can't tell me, then I am okay in a sense with someone not really treating me positively because my actions are not positive. However, I would like to make the distinction that the person is not treating me that way because of my actions. It's because they're using the opportunity to get rid of some of their own negativity, and it just so happens, hey, I'm being an asshole right now, so it's okay. Kind of, in a sense. That's how I would look at it. But it's not because of my actions. It is just that the person has some negativity inside of them that they would like to get rid of, and so they're using the opportunity, and it just so happens that, hey, I'm being an asshole, so hey, karma works in that way. Everything is all good, in my opinion. And again, it's also possible that you could be acting completely normal and you could be acting completely fine, and somebody just has that negativity inside of them, and they're willing to unleash it onto you. And again, what can I say? I don't know. Karma, the universe, whatever. It's all happening for a reason, right? But I think it's really important for me to remember this. It's very difficult for me to always remember this, because I think that I was raised to think the complete opposite. I was kind of raised, I don't want to say raised, I don't think like anybody ever said this to me in a particular way, but I don't know, I think it's just the whole world. I do not know. I don't know, but I don't know. I just feel like it's very natural for me to think that how people treat me is a reflection of how I'm acting towards them. And I just really want to remind myself that, at least from what I can see and from what I think, I have been meaning to learn over these past few years that this is not the case. And that when people I think that sometimes people do try and do that intentionally, possibly because they think that it's true, which is that, if I'm treating you poorly, then it's because you're acting poorly. And maybe people don't really see it as, well, I'm just treating this person poorly because I, in myself, have some negativity that I need to get rid of, Maybe people don't see it that way, and so it's very easy for some people to say, well, look, why are you acting this way? Don't you see that? Whatever. And in those times, I have to really remind myself, the person isn't treating me this way because of anything that I have or haven't done. They're treating me this way because, because they are. And it doesn't have anything to do with me and my actions. There's not much that I can actually do to change the person's action. The only thing that I really have control over is myself. I have control over my actions and my reactions, but I don't really have any control over someone else's actions and someone else's reactions to me. And I think that it's taken me a long time to even grasp that, like even a little snippet of it, which I think is where I'm at now. And maybe this video will make me grasp like a little bit more of the, you know, like a bigger piece of the seed, and then hopefully with time I'll be able to fully understand that idea, and it will just be maybe second nature hopefully to me. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Mommy, I don't know if this counts as Song Sunday. Let me sing a little tune. It's raining all around. Yes, it's actually raining. There's another typhoon coming. So yeah, that's what I have to say. Everybody, best of yourself. Have a wonderful day, night, evening, everything.